Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. So, since my table saw, which normally lives right here, is currently down and going back to Powermatic, thought I'd go ahead and take this opportunity to go after the closet or a rendition of it that I wanted to do around the dust collector. This dust collector is loud. It's the CV1800. It's a great machine. I'm very happy with it, but it's very loud. And I found myself always putting earmuffs on. I had initially envisioned a closet that would essentially be a closet with a door on the front where I could get the barrel out when I needed to. But lumber storage has become an issue down there and really clogs up. So I think what I'm going to do is kind of just a two-sided partition, and I will insulate the inside and see if I can knock some of that noise down where I can get out of the earmuffs. If that doesn't work, that's okay. I will rearrange this lumber storage and simply come back and put a door on the side, and that'll be okay. But for now, I think that will work if I just frame in these two walls and like I said, insulate the back side. I'm also going to utilize the front side of this for more vertical storage lumber, which I need desperately. The end feed for the table saw is, well, it's clear over here, so I'm okay there and it won't be in the way, and I can get a little bit of vertical storage lumber here as well. I have some sheet plywood left over from doing the shop that I'll be using on the walls for this. So I don't have any material there. All I really have for material costs are 2x4s to frame in and some anchors, because I will anchor it to the concrete. I have a Hilti drill, so I will just anchor it to the concrete that way. And we'll see if we can knock down some of this noise. So in the morning, I'm gonna go get some 2x4s and we'll start framing this in. This should be a fairly short video. Really, I'm only doing two little walls, nothing super fancy. And yeah, we'll go from there. So I will see you guys in the morning with some fresh lumber. Okay, so I'm just using 2.5-inch deck screws to put the framing together. I chose screws just because it's easier to take apart if this whole thing needs to be redone or I don't like it or whatever reason. So it's all going together with screws. All right, time to get this stood up. I set all my crowns, they're down, and I'm going to set it on the ceiling first and then wedge the bottom in. Try not to mess up the ceiling too much. Okay, so this side was a little bit trickier with the dust collection, and I didn't want to take all this out. I could have taken all this out and unsealed it and made this wall going up a whole lot easier. I just chose to locate for the 2x4 that goes on the wall, secure it, and then I'll put the frame up around the hose so I don't have to mess with that. I did notice I do have a couple small little air leaks in here, so I've got a tube of caulking and I'll get that caulked up after I get this wall set up in place. And that actually went up better than I thought. I'll just screw that off in place. Then I'm going to go after getting my leaks sealed. Okay, so I've laid out the circle for the hose. I'm going to cut the circle out. I'll probably clean it up a little bit with sandpaper. Then I'm going to go back to the track saw and cut this off. So I'll put it up in 2 pieces. Okay, so there's one wall up. I'm happy with how that came out. I was even able to line up the screws with the pattern that the guys that built the shop did, so it looks like it was always meant to be here. This wall is next, but before I do that, I have some spare insulation in the other shop. I'm going to grab and I'm going to insulate this inside wall while it's still easy to get to. And then I'll come back and insulate or put this wall on and insulate it. This one would be much easier to get to from the inside, as I do have some room here. So next up, I'm going to move this camera around and we're going to insulate this wall. Just like that. Okay, so there's the bulk of it pretty much in place, at least as far as I'm going to go for now. I still have to insulate this back side, which I'll do off camera. And I'm also going to build a lumber storage rack on the front of this, just like I did in a previous video. And I'll put a link in the show notes to that vertical storage. This is wide enough where if this doesn't work out for me, I can come back and I can wall in this side, and I can go ahead and cut a door in here, and that will kill even more noise. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and run this for a little while and see how it helps. What it does still allows plenty of air movement, so I'm happy about that. But I wanna work with it for a little while and really see how much noise I'm knocking down once I get the rest of the insulation in it. But for now, I'm not gonna fire it up because I did go ahead and silicone up those couple of small leaks that I had found. So I'm gonna let that stuff cure for today and get to work on these racks. Like I said, I'm not gonna show that, but there's a link to that in the show notes. I'm gonna move the camera around the other side and kind of show you how that side all finished out. Okay, so here's this side. I went ahead and hung some of my more frequently used patterns up on the wall. Found a new home for the levels. The offcut bend still fits in there just great, so I didn't have to do anything with that. So it's nice and clean and neat and tidy. And now I just have to put all that sheet good stuff back together. So let me get after this lumber rack and get that sheet good stuff put away, and I'll show you a finished picture when I'm done. Okay guys, so there it is. I built this rack exactly the same way that I did the vertical storage one that I did in that video. I did test run the machine, and it is significantly quieter, but like I said, I want to do some actual work out here and see if I feel like I need to put my earmuffs back on. So that's gonna pretty much wrap it up for this one, guys. I'm sure it won't take me long to fill up these racks completely. And if I have to come back and put another wall in and cut a door, it's just not that big of a deal. But I'll keep you guys updated if that happens. So until next time, guys, take care.